Well, we made it to the track. Camaro did great on the way here. Time to put the drag wheels on it and tires and get this thing down the track. All right, gearing up for the first pass. Very cold out. That track temp is next to nothing. All right, well, that was perfect because I had to go slower than, I had to lift at the 8th for my licensing runs. All right, so you guys know I decided I didn't want to run nitrous at Sick Week. I figured it's one more thing that I don't have to worry about, just no bottles. Already worried about fuel, so why worry about nitrous as well? We didn't know how fast it was going to go or slow, or how fast it would get on the two-step, or if it would get on the two-step at all. Obviously, I did a quick test of my house, got up fairly quickly, and then I just got here and made a few passes, and on one of the passes, the last one, not even going all the way to the 8th, it went 5.2 at only 128 miles an hour. So it's gonna go way faster than an 850, so we need to take a bunch of boost out of it, maybe like 10 pounds of boost to slow it down. I'm gonna run it out here and see what it does, because this is my last pass of the night anyways, and then I can let it cool down as I prepare to leave, change the tires and all that good stuff. But pretty awesome, pretty excited. Dang old broken Mustang up there. What do you guys think broke on it? All right, last pass. Well, that felt pretty fast. Jumped the chute and all. Let's see what it did. Time to load up and go home now. That may have been a 7. No, it was probably like an 8. It was probably like an 8. I feel like it was faster than 850. I'm gonna say an 820, but we'll see. All right, so one thing about Sick Week is they are NHRA sanctioned event, however you want to call it. They hold true to the NHRA rules. So one thing that I had to do, shout out to them because they reached out to me, they were very helpful and all that good stuff, is get my NHRA license. And now that requires 1/8 mile pass, 3 passes that are slower than 10.0, and then 2 passes that are faster than 10.0, basically all out. And you have to be able to basically prove that you can do that. And you have to do that in the order, back to back, with someone watching that is trusted and qualified, I guess, by NHRA. So I used Law up in the tower. She is always in the tower. She is a staple of BMP. Shout out to her because she helped me get this figured out. And now I'm going to quickly go through my time slips. So I made 7 passes that night. One of them was non-usable, and I'll explain why. And the other ones worked out fine. So let's go in order here. They're all dated and time stamped, and she signed them. And I have to bring them to SGMP on the first day of sick week. So the first pass here was at 7:19 p.m. Reaction time was pretty good too. I went 8.2 in the 8th mile, 91 miles an hour, and I went a 13.6 at 77 miles an hour. The car spun off the line, so I kind of just rolled out down the track, and I didn't know how fast the car was going to go. I don't really have a good gauge on what a 10.0 feels like in this car, so 13.6. But because that was an 8th mile hit, that means so I could not go slower than 13.6 for any of my other passes or faster than 10.0. And then I did this pass at 7:43. I went 14.5. So it was slower than that 13.6. So if you guys are understanding, I had to go faster than my 8th mile rip, but slower than 10.0. So in between there. And then I went too slow with a 14.5. I didn't even, I didn't even really do anything. I kind of got up on the brake a little bit and rolled out. It only went 2.0 to the 60 foot. It was obviously a horrible pass, yada, yada, yada. But because it was slower than that, it was garbage. Then I rolled back up again at 7:49. I just rolled right back into the beams, and I went 12.94 at 1:42. So again, I didn't really do much on the tree and the 60 foot. I just rolled off the line and then floored it, and it went 12.9 at 1:42. So I kind of just squeezed under that, and that was a good pass then. Then I did another one, and that was only at 8:17, so I let it cool down a little bit, waited for some other cars to go, and then I pulled right back up. And that time I did get up on the brake, and I did leave. It went 123 60 foot, 5.6 in the 8th, so I kind of knew what it was starting to do in the 8th. And then I hit the brakes, and it went 10.2 at 90 miles an hour. Thankfully, I hit the brakes right at the last second, was able to get the car in the 10s, because if it went 9.99, this pass also would have been thrown out. So I had to do one more that was slower than 10 seconds, but faster than 13.9, and I rolled off the starting line again, 8:45, so I gave it another 30 minutes, and I went 12.9 at 1:28. Again, didn't really do anything on the 60 foot, just rolled off the line and started to floor it, and it went 12.9 at 1:28. So then those were out of the way. I was good. That means I was able to, go as fast as I wanted, see what the car would do. So pulled up, wanted to see what the car would do. Quick little 8th mile rip. I went 122 60 foot, 5.26 at 1:29, got out of it early. Just wanted to see what the car was doing. Felt pretty good, so I was happy with that. And I was like, all right, cool. So that's my my now under 10-second pass. And then for the last pass of the night, I was like, all right, let's make a full rip. Let's see how close we get to 850, and then we can dial it back from there or dial it up. I thought we might have to add more power, but from a 5.2 at 1:29, I was like, okay, we're already going pretty fast. It might go faster than 850s. Well, it definitely would have, but I wanted to see. So then I do a full rip, and it goes 120 to the 60 foot, 5:02 in the 8th at 142 miles an hour, and then 779 at 176. So it was rolling. It was going very fast. I did not expect that at all. So that was our last pass, and that gives me my licensing. And then I just kept this slip just in case. But that's what you have to do for the licensing. It takes some time. I mean, this last pass was at 9:56. That was the last pass of the night before they closed the doors. And it was cold night. It was 45 degrees out. It was it was a long night. That was a lot of passes, a lot of wear and tear on the car, but we made it happen. I could have done this the first day of sick week. They allow you to do it there, but this would have been really a mess to figure out. So figured it out. No nitrous. This was all boost only, cold air, and it went really, really fast. So good deal. Huge shout out to BMP and the guys at Sick Week for helping me set this up and orchestrate all this. And I am almost legal. I just need to submit this and pay the couple $100, and I got me a license. That license is good for $750, from $999 to $750, and then there's an advanced one that would be able to go faster than $750. So that would require a doctor to inspect me, or whatever you call it, a physical, and then I'd be able to go faster. So this right here, I can finally legally go $750 in my own car. All right, well, we were seeing a little bit of like noise. I felt like when I would turn, I would hear like a kind of like a grinding noise, almost like a rubbing, like something was rubbing on something else. And it was with both sets of tires, so nothing was a problem there. Both wheels and tire setups were doing it. So we decided, after some consideration, to replace the axle bearing. So after the accident, when I hit the wall, I never replaced this axle bearing, and it probably would have been a good idea to do. So, yeah, just, you can kind of, when it's twisting, it almost kind of goes up and down, and then let's see if you can visually see. I got a little tighter there. It's kind of, yeah, like there's a hard spot. So I gotta take this off and see what we're looking at here. This is obviously the old one, and from my understanding, yeah, like right there, there's like something. It's like caught somewhere. Hopefully this axle's good. I don't know what it could be like under there, but let's take this thing apart and see. Okay, so I obviously had to cut it off, unfortunately, because pressing that off isn't really a thing, and everybody I saw was cutting them off. I was surprised. But you can see right there, see on the ball bearings, it's kind of like pushed in. So this was that way on the axle, so facing the out of the car. So when it, I'm pretty sure, no, it was facing the inner of the car. So when it hit, it probably crushed in that little like retainer on the balls for the ball bearing and caused some damage. And then that was the impending noise I kept hearing was that. So glad that I figured that out. I didn't order a passenger side one, only driver's side, because I assumed that was the issue. We'll see. It sounded like it was only coming from the driver's side, so no reason to replace parts that are good, but I probably should have. So I was able to cut it off and kind of use these, I guess you can call it a chisel, to get it off and crack it and knock it out. Oh, perfect. It is an A1021, exactly what I ordered. Shout out to Midwest Chassis Eric for pointing me in the right direction on what bearing to order, because I wanted to order it before I took this one out and had to measure it and all that stuff, and shout out to them. Well, this is an unfamiliar sight. It hasn't been in here in a while. So just bolted the passenger seat back in, put the harnesses back in. All right, fresh bearing going on. Off to BMP we go. So I got here, my hatch was open. I wonder when that opened. Probably as soon as I left. I should look in the cameras. Oh yeah, it'll be great to have a trailer this year. I don't have to unload everything at each track. I just unhook the trailer. Yeah, I just still unloaded everything. Doesn't change a thing. Well, look at that. Oh, it's raining. Having a track cheeseburger and some fries. There were more fries, I promise. Well, they cut the lights out. Now I'm loading up in the dark. Thankfully, I was born in the darkness. All right, well, we tried. Time to go home. Oh wait, I didn't plug in my trailer.
Are you ready, racers? Hey, Captain! I can't hear you. Camaro with a 2JZ. Cooper Bugatti. Burnouts and speed, he's the king of sick weak. Cooper Bugatti. If turbocharged madness is something you seek, Cooper Bugatti. Then hop in the lanes, watch him turn up the heat. Cooper